All right then, well, good morning. And what we're going to do actually today is we're going to do what I call a chakra flow. All right. And we've done these before. We did them, in fact, last year, I think. Certainly in class, we have done them. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through a standing sequence and then a seated sequence that takes us through the energy centers. So if you're familiar with the chakra system, we've got 7 energy centers along our spine, from the root chakra here at the lower spine up to the crown chakra here at the top of the head. Now, I'm not going to be going through like all the qualities and things like that for this run. I'll probably do that next week. But just for now, just to get us back into thinking and working energetically with the yoga practice, I'll just name them. I'll call them out as we go through the postures, and you'll become aware of what it is that we're going to be trying to be doing. Okay, so let's just get cracking then with that. In terms of yoga props, you'll need a belt probably for the seated forward fold that we'll be doing, but other than that, just the mat, I think. Okay, so let's just settle ourselves down. Just bring yourself now to the room, to the practice. So just beginning to let go of any stuff that's been going on so far this morning. We're just bringing ourselves into the room, into the space. So just become aware of the way you are sitting. So whether you're sitting cross-legged on the mat or sitting on a yoga prop, then just relax now. Bring it all to the present moment. And let's just help our mind relax also. So we're going to clear out all the thoughts, all the mind chatter, all that noise. So if it helps, just opening up the imaginary cupboard doors now and sweeping all the stuff of the day, whatever's going to be happening later, and has happened already. We're just going to sweep it all away, close those doors, and then relax the mind. So just take some deep breaths now, in and out of the nose, into that vacated headspace. Just feel the lightness and the relief now. And now that our mind is fully available, let's take our awareness then into the body for our usual body scan. So just take your awareness to your feet. And relax the feet completely. And then moving up the legs, through the shins, the calves, the knees, and the thighs. So just let the floor, all the yoga support, take your weight. And relax your legs now completely. And then just tilt your pelvis slightly forward, just a little bit. So that's rolling your hips towards the floor in front of you so that you get that nice sense of spine lengthening, that straightening up towards the ceiling. Let the chest lift, let the shoulders broaden, let the arms drop. Nice and heavy by your side, with your hands resting on your thighs. And your head is nice and centered between the shoulders. And the face is relaxed. Just letting go in the forehead, the eyes, and the jaw. Just make sure that your body is fully relaxed. Just go ahead in your mind's eye, go through that body scan again, starting at the feet, work your way up. Find any tension and just letting it go. And then from here now, we're going to go into our warm-up. So you're going to take a breath in, and as you exhale, you're going to drop your chin down towards the chest. And then inhaling, taking it just away slightly. And then exhaling, drawing it again towards the chest. And then inhaling, drawing it away again, just last time. And then exhaling, really lengthening out the back of the neck. And then inhaling, rolling the head up towards the right shoulder. So just rotate your head so that you get your ear dangling right over the shoulder, stretching the left side of the neck. And then exhaling, rolling the head back down to center, inhaling, coming up on the left. Again, just making sure you align the back of your head to the wall so that we get the ear above the shoulder. Stretch the right side of the neck. And then exhaling, lowering chin again, coming back up on the right. So just work with these gentle head rolls, easing out any tension you have in the neck now. Follow your breath. Keep your spine nice and long, and the shoulders are level. Just a couple more of these. Good. And then next time the chin comes down to center, we're going to pause that practice. We're going to inhale, lifting the head back up to between the shoulders and continue with shoulder rolls. So you're going to take the shoulders back, circle them up and forward, back, up and forward. So we're just getting some movement, some warmth in the shoulder joint. Good. And the next time the shoulders come to center, go the other way. So reverse the circles, forward, up and back. Good. And the next time the shoulders come down to center, we're going to pause with that, and we're going to work with the seated spinal twist. You're going to take the right hand to the left knee. The left hand rests behind you on the mat, fingers on the mat, or your hand up against the yoga support. Take a nice inhale, and then when you exhale, rotate. So we're just going to have a little twist in the middle part of the spine here. And just look back as far as is comfortable. Good, and then letting that go, let's come the other way. So left hand, right knee, the right hand rests behind you. Inhale, nice and long, and then exhale, rotate and turn. So by anchoring down those hands, you're drawing your shoulders down. Good. One more time either side. Right hand, left knee, the left hand's behind you. Nice big inhale, and then exhale, just rotate on your axis. And then last time to the right. So the left hand to the right knee, the right hand's behind you. Inhaling, and then exhale, turning. Good, and then coming back to center. Right, so if you're on the yoga support, you're going to come off them now. So come down to your back. And just bend your knees and let your feet rest now on the mat. Or you can bring your knees to your chest already, but either way, just relax. Let the spine completely unwind here, get a little heavy into the earth. And just relax. So just notice now, take your awareness right up the length of your spine, from your lower spine all the way to the back of your head, to the top of your head. So just feeling into that contact. Take some breaths in and out of the nose. Good, and then leaving your arms by your side or having your hands in front of the knees, let's just work with some hip rolls. So circle the knees out, down and away. And then when we exhale, bring the knees back to the chest. So inhale, circle out, down and away. Exhale, bringing them back to the chest. And the next time the knees come together, we're going to slide the hands to the inside of the knees. Take a breath in. As you exhale, let those knees drop out to the side. For a little inside thigh stretch, just relax. This is nice and light. And then on an inhale, just send the heels out to the side. So slide the hands to the inside of the thigh. Take a deeper stretch and then circle the feet. Waking everything up. Good. Bringing the heels back into center. Let's do a couple more hip rolls. Good, and then we're going to do our final thing, which is warming up the lower spine. So keep your knees together now and choose which direction you want to circle the knees. As you circle the knees, you're going to draw circles on the mat with your lower spine. So we're sort of activating the root chakra here already, that energy center right at the base of the spine. And the next time the knees come to center, go the opposite way to the way you started. Good. And the next time the knees come to center, we're going to pause that practice. We're going to take a breath in. And as you exhale, we're going to roll over onto one side. And we're going to bring ourselves up into standing. Good. Okay, so our chakra flow journey begins with mountain pose, as it corresponds with the chakra at the lower spine. So we're going to get our feet underneath our hips. We're going to get nice and centered. We're going to turn our palms out, facing forward. Perhaps it's helpful here just to close the eyes to really get into the feel now of this balance. So relax, start to relax. Taking your awareness now, first of all, to the soles of your feet and the connection to the mat and the earth beneath you here. And then take a very subtle shifting from left to right, very subtle. So it's the smallest of sways, shifting your weight from left to right and back again, just so that you can get a sense now of that pressure that we feel when we're grounding down. So when you go to yoga class and you hear grounding down, this is what it is, where you feel yourself just slightly sink into the mat slightly. But do this and relax your legs completely. very aware now of that sort of grounding feeling through the feet as you shift the weight very subtly from side to side. And then just bringing yourself back to center, nice and still, and just feel into the posture. Again, just checking that you're fully relaxed everywhere. And that sinking in feeling, that grounding feeling that you can now do through both feet very subtly, that sends the energy up the back of the legs and activates the root chakra. So just take your awareness now, let it travel from your feet up the legs and to the lower spine. Couple more breaths here in Tadasana, mountain pose. Lovely. And then we're going to let that go. So if you've got your eyes closed, we're going to open them. Now from here, we're going to stay with the root chakra and work with forward fold. So take your hands to the heart center. And then inhale, reaching up with the arms, and then exhaling, swan diving down. So coming all the way down and staying there. So if your hands don't reach the mat, then they can rest on the calves, or you can hold your elbows. But either way, we're going to start with the feet. So we're going to bring our hips forward so that the weight is through the balls of the feet. Slight bend in the knees. And then with every exhale, you're going to draw the tummy towards the chest. So you're engaging your thigh muscles here to tilt the pelvis forward to send the tailbone up towards the ceiling. So just let your head go here. The head's heavy, the neck is relaxed. And what this is doing, again, is activating the root chakra. So as you ground down through the feet, you're sending the energy up through the legs and into this energy center right here in the lower spine, the point that you're trying to shift up towards the ceiling. You could even shift your weight ever so slightly back and forth between the 2 feet, just an absolute mini sway here to feel into that contact with the mat and activating the muscles right up the back of the legs into the lower spine. Good. A few more breaths here in forward fold. Lovely. Good, and we're going to get ready to come out of forward fold now. So we're going to bend the knees. We're going to take the arms straight forward, inhaling, grounding down through the feet, lifting up the arms, and then exhaling, letting that go, arms coming down by our sides. Good, lovely. So that's Uttanasana. That's what forward fold is called in Sanskrit. Now, the next one we're going to do is we're going to move it up a little bit. So we've just been activating here, the root chakra. We're now going to bring it up to the sacral chakra, which is just a few inches below the navel here. And to do that, we're going to work with goddess pose. So let's take the long side of the mat then. Take your feet wide and let your feet come out about 45 degrees. So they're at an angle so that your toes are pointing to the corners of the mat in front of you. And then lift up the toes. So when you lift up your toes, your arches lift as well, but it also helps keep the knees turned outwards and stops them from kind of falling in, okay? So we're going to take a breath in, and as we exhale, we're going to drop down. So let the knees track over the feet. Doesn't have to be low, okay? We don't have to sink down to where it gets all crampy in the bottom and everything. So just find your place wherever you need to be here. And then relax. So you can actually go into this pose and relax your buttocks completely. So try not to have an overly clenched feeling here. Keep this nice and light. And then taking your arms out to the sides in full goddess pose, palms facing up. So we're grounding down through the feet into the mat, yeah? So we're getting that sort of sinking in feeling, and that sends the energy up the legs and into the sacral chakra here. Good. Now we're just going to have a little movement here in goddess pose. So we're going to take a side stretch. So take a breath in, and as you exhale, start to reach up with the right arm. Let your left hand come to the inside of that left knee to encourage that left knee back. Reaching up, looking up. Take a couple of breaths here. Nice side stretch down the right side. Good. Take a breath in. As you exhale, lower that right hand. Bring it to the inside of the right knee. And as you inhale, then take an exhale, reaching up with your left arm. Good. Keep the toes up. Take a breath in, and then as you exhale, lower that left arm. And now we're going to come forward. Take a breath in. As you exhale, bring the torso forward. Nice straight spine coming in between the legs, and then pausing with your torso parallel to the mat. Keep those hands gently pressing into the inside of the knees. And here we're going to take a little shoulder stretch. So take a breath in, and as you exhale, rotate to the left. Drop your right shoulder down towards the mat. Send the left shoulder up towards the ceiling and look up just as far as is comfortable. Keep the pressure through the hands, into the knees. Take a breath in, exhaling, coming back to center. Take another breath in, and as you exhale, let's take it to the right. Drop your left shoulder down. Lift the right shoulder up towards the ceiling, and let's take the twist. So we're twisting in the middle spine here, looking up as far as is comfortable. Take a breath in, coming back to center, and now we're going to take another breath in, lifting up for another moment in full goddess pose. And the thighs are properly tired now, so we're going to take a breath in, straightening the legs, lowering the arms, bringing them back to center. Gorgeous, awesome. I love that posture. Fabulous. So what we're going to do next is we're going to go from the sacral chakra here to the navel chakra, which is just behind the navel, unsurprisingly. And to do that, we're going to go into high lunge. But I'm just going to show you what we're going to do. There's an option. We're going to come back into high lunge with our feet. We're going to lift our arms up in cactus arms. So that's going to be like that, with our arms at 90 degrees. And if we want to, when we're here, we're going to take a little twist towards the bent knee, just a little, just to really get a sense of the contact here with the navel. And then we're going to bring it back to center, and then we'll do the other side, okay? So you're going to come to the top of your mat, and you're going to shift the weight into your right foot. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, send that left foot back. So take your time here to get nice and centered. So move your feet however far apart they need to be to keep it nice and stable. The heel on the back foot is up, and the knee is above the ankle on the right side. Good. So get yourself square, hips facing forward. And when you've got yourself nice and grounded, drop your arms down, and then on an inhale, lifting the arms up in cactus arms. I'm just going to turn so that you can see me from the front here. Good. So now we're going to take that little twist to the right if it feels okay. So it's a bit of a balance there. So take a breath in. And as you exhale now, start to turn to the right, towards the bent knees. Keeping the spine nice and straight. It's not a lean. We're rotating on the axis. But you can really get a sense now of this sort of wringing out of any tension, anything that you're holding here in your tummy, in your navel center. Good. Take an inhale, coming back to center, facing forward. Take an inhale, lowering those arms now on the exhale and bringing the left foot through. Okay. So now we're going to do that on the other side. So I'm going to stay actually facing forward. So shift the weight into your left foot. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, take the right foot back. So again, just taking your time to get nice and stable and centered here, no rush. So we've got the toes pointed forward. The left knee is above the ankle. The back heel is off the mat. Your hips are level, facing forward. And then dropping your arms down by your side. And when you're ready, on an inhale, lifting the arms up into cactus arms. Good. Let's just take a couple of breaths here first, but your attention is very much here, behind the navel. And then if it feels all right, we're now going to take a little twist to the left. So take a breath in. As you exhale, just turning then, not far, but just enough to get that sense of squeezing in the middle section here. If you're rotating on the axis, remember here. Good. And then on an inhale, coming back to center. One or two more breaths here. Come out when you need to, though. Good. Take a breath in. As you exhale, lower the arms and bring that right foot through. Excellent. Okay. Wow. Okay. So really feeling now into this bit here. So if this is where you hold your tension in your tummy, doing these twists in yoga poses are really helpful, actually, just to release that. But we're going to keep traveling. We're going to come up now to the heart chakra, the energy center here in the middle of your chest. And to do that, we're going to work with extended side stretch. I'm just going to show you the variation that we're going to use, because the one that we've been doing recently is where we have the hand and the arm at a diagonal. This time, we're going to have the arm behind us, resting on the back of here in the lower spine. I'm just going to turn so you can see. So the back of the hand will rest here in the lower spine, or if it wants to, it might come all the way to the thigh. And we're going to work with it here, okay? So facing the long side of your mat, take your feet wide, align your heels, turn your right foot out and the left foot in, just a little bit for balance. Take your breath in, and then we're going to bend that right knee, so keep it above the ankle, and place your forearm just behind the kneecap. So before we do anything else, just be aware of this contact here with the thigh. So nudge the knee to go to the right here, okay? So you can feel that that kind of engages the shoulder as well, the arm. And then on an inhale, lifting your left arm up. And as you exhale, sweeping it behind you and placing the back of the hand at the base of the spine or on the thigh. So wherever it needs to rest, it doesn't matter. And here you can now start to feel that we're working with the chest opening part of this posture, extended side stretch. So on an exhale, every time you exhale, You're going to nudge the knee to the right and rotate the rib cage up towards the ceiling by pressing the back of the hand into the lower spine or the hand into the thigh, so that you're kind of sending the shoulders in opposite directions, okay? So work with the breath here. And every time you exhale, open out the shoulders. You're anchored through your forearm on the right and your hand on the left here to really get that sense of opening. Good. And of course, energetically, we're opening up our heart at the same time. So the gaze can be forward or it can be looking up. Just checking with your neck. Good. And then we're going to get ready to come up now. So inhale, letting the arm go, straightening that right leg. And let's just switch over now to the other side. So turn your right foot to face forward. The left foot now points at 90 degrees. Your heel to heel. Take a breath in, and as you bend the knee, look down. Make sure it's above the ankle. Placing your left forearm now just behind that left kneecap. And again, feel the contact here with that forearm into the knee. And then on an inhale, you're going to sweep your right arm up and back as you exhale, placing the back of the hand on the lower spine or on the thigh. So same again, every time you exhale, you're sending the shoulders in opposite directions, rotating the rib cage up towards the ceiling, anchoring through your forearm and pressing down with the back of the hand on the back. Good, focusing on the heart, lovely. Nice. Good. Maybe one more breath here, and as you exhale again, just open, open. Good, and then on an inhale, we're going to let that right arm go, straighten the left leg and bring yourself back to center. Lovely. Now we're going to work with the third eye, moving up the chakras. So the third eye energy center is right here in the middle of the forehead, and for that we're going to do chair pose. So bring yourself to the front of your mat and bring your feet about an inch, inch and a half together. Nice and tall then, take a breath in, and as you exhale, you're going to sit down. So the hips go back, your torso comes forward just a little, shift the weight into the full sole of your foot, and then on an inhale, the arms go parallel to the floor or looking up. But your attention is going to be in that spot in the middle of your forehead. Good. And then getting ready to come out of chair pose, take an inhale, and as you exhale, you're going to drop your arms, coming back up. Wonderful. And we've got one more standing posture just to complete the chakra flow sequence in the standing section, which is going to be here, the crown chakra. And for that, we're going to work with extended side stretch, which is, let me just remind you, where we take our foot just a foot back. So you see the feet are a little closer together. We hold the elbows for this one, and then we come forward. And the idea is here that by coming forward, you're opening out this energy center here at the top of your head when you bend over. Okay, so I'm going to face forward so you can see. So to come to the top of your mat, shift the weight into your right foot and then take your left foot back. So that your legs are kind of like a pharaoh on a hieroglyph. Yes, toes pointing forward. Holding your elbows now. Keeping the hips nice and centered. And your spine nice and straight. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, hinging at the hip, then coming forward, but with a nice straight spine. Have a slight bend in that right knee so that we're not knocking that out. And then just connecting then with the hamstring stretch. However far down that is. Now, if you feel like you're swaying out to the right, bring your hips back into center so that the hips are above your feet. Good. And just take a few breaths here. Good, and then getting ready to come out of this posture now. So inhale, strong through the feet. Come up with a straight spine. Grounding down, nice and easy on an inhale. Good, bring the left foot forward and then let's just go to the other side. Take your right foot back. Get yourself nice and centered. Elbows behind you, take a breath in and as you exhale, coming forward. Hinge at the hips. Keep the hips centered. Just be aware of any sway to the left. Slight bend in the left knee. Coming forward. And the elbows behind you, holding the elbows behind you, just keeps your chest nice and open here. Good. But your focus is on the crown chakra at the top of your head. Good. So on an inhale, we're going to come back up, strong through the feet, nice straight spine. And then letting your arms go, bringing the right foot forward. Great. Right, so that completes the standing sequence. So we're going to come down onto the mat and work with the chakras in the same way. So I'm going to actually turn to the side. So we're going to get into seated forward fold. And if it helps, then fold your blanket and sit on the edge of it. This just helps to tilt the pelvis forward and stops that sort of hunching that we get in this posture. Good. So take your belt, place it around the balls of both feet. Just a slight bend in the knees so that we're not locking out. Nice straight spine. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, hinge at the hips, coming forward. So ground down through your sit bones here, through the buttocks. So you're pressing into the mat with your buttocks, engaging the thighs to tilt that pelvis forward. So it's not a passive stretch. And keep your head in line here with the spine. So just be aware of sticking the chin out and also hunching the shoulders forward. So keep the shoulders back. And by working with this seated forward fold, we've actually got direct contact with the root chakra into the mat here at the base of the lower spine. So as you stretch, just taking your awareness there. Your connection to the earth through the root chakra. So maybe a breath or two more here. And then on an inhale, we're going to calm back up, nice straight spine. We're going to let the belt go. We're going to swing the legs back as we come into facing down on the mat. We're going to work with locust. So get your blanket now, if you're using it, across the mat, and place your hips on the blanket. And getting ready then to work with your locust pose as we move up the chakra system to the sacral chakra again. So place your forehead on the mat, turn your palms down, keep your feet hip width apart, and then get ready. We're going to do locust twice. So on an inhale, lifting up the head, the torso, the hands and the feet. And it's if you want to reach your knees with your hands. But you can feel now that you're grounding down into the mat through the pubic bone there. And that's where the sacral chakra is. Good. So another breath or two here. Keep your head in line with the spine. And then take a breath in, and as you exhale, lower. Placing the forehead down, just relax for a little before we do that again. So on an inhale, then coming back up, lifting the head, then the torso. The hands reach, the feet lift. Nice and strong here in locust. Shalabhasana, this is called. Again, your focus is on that sacral chakra, which is where the pubic bone is. Good, take a breath in, and then as you exhale, lowering down, just make a nest with your hands underneath your forehead and just relax everything. So just relax. Good. And then we're going to come back. So just lifting yourself up and bringing your knees now onto the blanket as we work with cat-cow, with Pithilasana, this is called. So the hands are now underneath the shoulders and the knees are underneath the hips. You can have your feet tucked under or feet flat on the mat. Either way, we start in neutral. And we're going to inhale, dropping the belly down towards the mat, lifting the head up as far as is comfortable. Pressure through the hands, the knees, the shins, and the feet, sending the tailbone up towards the ceiling, rolling the elbows towards each other. Good. And then as you exhale, coming into your cat, again, pressure through the hands, knees, feet. Get the stretch across the back of the shoulders. And then back again. So finding your own flow here, inhaling into cow. Now you're activating two chakras as you move back and forth here. So in cow, you're opening up the chest, activating your heart chakra. And then as you exhale, bringing yourself into cat, you're activating your navel chakra. And if you want to really squeeze it out, remember when you exhale, you can bring your navel towards the spine. Give that an extra activation. So inhaling into cow, opening out the heart chakra, and then exhaling, squeezing out any excess unhelpful energy out of your navel chakra. A couple more of these. Good. Finishing in your cat. And then coming into neutral again. And we're just going to travel a little bit. We're going to stay with the heart center. So you're going to come down onto your forearms. You're going to lower your hips onto the mat and find Sphinx pose. So just make sure that the elbows are underneath the shoulders. Hands are flat onto the mat. So you need to ground down now through your palms and the forearms and the elbows to keep those shoulders away from the ears. And with every exhale, you're drawing the chest forward. So we're activating, unsurprisingly here, the heart chakra here in the chest when you practice Sphinx pose. Let's just take a couple of breaths here. Good, and then take a breath in, and as you exhale, turning, we're going to turn ourselves over now. So you're going to move the blanket out of the way. And we're going to come onto our backs and work with bridge pose. So bring your feet underneath your knees. Your knees are hip width apart. And we're going to leave our arms flat on the mat for this one. So when you're ready, you're going to inhale, ground down through the feet, but also through the backs of your arms. So as if you're going to come up on the backs of your arms a little bit here to open up the chest. And then as you keep lifting the pelvis up, you're drawing the chest towards the chin. And as you do that, you're going to feel a little pressure in your throat here. And that is where the throat chakra is. You've got an energy center there. So we're going to stay here in bridge pose for a few breaths, grounding down through the feet and through the back of the shoulders and the arms, breathing in and out of that throat area. So just make sure you've got a little space between the back of your neck and the floor so that we're avoiding jamming the neck in any way. Good. One or two more breaths here. Just feel that light pressure in the throat. And take a breath in, and as you exhale, start to lower the pelvis now. So unroll it, vertebra by vertebra, placing the pelvis down last. And then bringing one knee to the chest and then the other. And just give yourself a little side to side roll here. Good, and then roll over onto one side. And we're going to get ready now for the meditation part of our practice, which is in fact activating the third eye. So we're going to get into our sitting posture, which you can do with or without the yoga support. But we're going to get into Vajrasana, which is thunderbolt pose here. So maybe put on some layers now, some clothing, some socks or whatever, because you're going to go from here into Shavasana, the relaxation, which of course activates the crown chakra. So we've got two more chakras to go. So getting yourself nice and comfortable. So again then, just tuning into the sitting posture, making sure that you're nice and comfortable. Your hands can rest on your thigh here. You can have your palms facing up, or the palms can be down, whichever you prefer. But just making sure that your pelvis is tilted slightly forward and that you're sitting up nice and straight. And then closing the eyes and taking your awareness now to that point in the middle of your forehead. the next few minutes then, we're going to just breathe nice and easy in and out of our nose, keeping the focus there in the middle of the forehead on the third eye. And then just allowing that practice to finish now. And from here, bringing yourself down onto the mat into Shavasana. So if you're sitting on a bolster, you're going to come off the bolster and lie yourself flat on the mat, looking up. Maybe moving that bolster to underneath the knees. But either way, you're just going to lie now, facing up towards the sky, up towards the universe. Take your arms at a slight distance out from your sides, palms facing up. Feet are hip width apart. Maybe do a very quick body scan just to make sure that you are fully relaxed. And then letting yourself sink into the mat now. Very, very heavy. letting the breath settle into a nice easy rhythm in and out of the nose. Focusing on the top of your head, on the crown chakra now, as you take your awareness within, hovering between fully awake and asleep. And you'll hear the bell when we're ready to come out. And then just bringing yourself back into the room, back into the body now. And inviting some gentle movements to the hands, to the feet. And if you want to, taking your arms up over your head and taking a nice long stretch down the length of the body. And bringing one knee to the chest and then the other. If it feels all right, hugging the knees and taking a gentle rock from side to side. And then rolling over onto your right side and just pausing there, taking some deep breaths into the back of the chest. And then pushing the upper arm into the mat and gently rolling yourself up into comfortable sitting. And taking your hands to the heart center, thanking the body for the work this morning and for always supporting us in our daily lives. And then hands to the forehead for kind and loving thoughts. Hands to the mouth for kind and loving words. And back to the heart center for always staying open in love. And we can say namaste. Thank you. Lovely. So hope you enjoyed that little chakra flow this morning. See you soon.